3D tutorials, and in this video I will just continue. That is the part 3, how we can just create the controller. It is very simple. You just press this one. I think, yeah, this one for custom and that's one for the default. The default working very great. When I pressing this, now I have getting all the control I need. Now I can you can see I have getting the box. But before we saying it, we're talking about what is these. These things is what is going to show me. So here is the boxes or controller, and here is the joint boxes, like controlling the joint, rotation and kind of thing. And here we have the joint self. And here we have which effect do you want to affecting all or do you want to affecting one. But before I just talking about these things, we want to change this to another things. To do this, yes, you're going to which lock do you looking for? It is the sticker like spear or the other wires or whatever it is, but usually I like the boxes, and so we're just choosing the boxes. So it can be sometime you want to scale the position of the boxes or translate or whatever thing it is, so you can also do this. You can basically go ahead and selecting it and just go ahead to scale this, and you can sometime move this one to this. Okay, so you cannot really move it. Okay, so how we can do this? To moving these things, go to attribute editor when you have selecting it, and inside, you know, if I move it going to, now I don't have a scanning, but as you can see they're going to affect the rig, and that is not this I want. So I need to just move this here. So to do this we're going to use the offset here. I think it is 5. Okay, that was the top, maybe this one 7. So as you can see by here, 10 by 10. So I go there and type 10. So now I have positioning, but for the scaling you don't get any problem. But if it was, you can also use the scale option too. 2 by 2 by 2. Okay, so that is a way how you can have these customization rig control to be placed. Okay, so we're going back to the humanik. Okay, we don't need to see it. So now I want just to go ahead and skinning this character. As you know, we need to select all the joints, so we press this one. Now we're getting all the joint and select this, shift select this one, and I just use the default setting just for quick result. Okay, so as you can see now I getting this. The other thing we have here is will affect all the body or it is one. So what it mean? If I just turn this, it will affect all my body, as you can see, which can be very helpful. So that is a way to have full body control or only one. And of course you can also go ahead select both of them if you want, but you need holding the control to selecting it. Okay, so that is just very quick things. But the other thing, sometimes when you have moving the object, let's see like this, and you want to go to the default position, you will use this one, and it's going to the default position. Okay. Before we go to continue, yeah, there are another thing I will just also give you information about. When I rotate this, it's going to rotate from this area, but sometimes it will be better if it was downer. So how we can change the pivot point of it? So now I want to add a pivot point for this section. So right click, create pivot. As you can see, now I'm getting a pivot. So to move it, press the D as usually, and we can just position it which area we want, and D again, and that it is. As you can see now, I'm getting 2. You can also go ahead and add more if you want to. So that is the first one. That is the second pivot point I get. As you can see, is completely different way. So sometime if you want to add more, right click and just go ahead and create pivot. We're getting another one, holding the D, and go ahead and position it other place, and D again to go to the move tool or rotation, and now we have different pivots. So now if I want to animate like this, so I can just change to this and this for this, and we have also the central. So you're getting like this, and if you want to selecting it, so you can just select the first or second or whatever pivot point you have created. So that is also a good idea to use sometime to make the animation or for the animator to be easier. So the next thing is it's working actually on Maya 2018, which they have adding this feature. As you can see, sometimes we have a lot of control, sometimes we cannot see the character self, so it is a way to not showing it and like hover effect, mouse hover effect on them. To do this, by default they have not been adding, so you're going to the rigging, controller, and go to tag as, so going to the controller and tag as the controller. That will add this tag for it, and what it is, you can just press show on the mouse. So when my mouse is here, it will be show, and when it is not, it will not show. So that is a very good idea to be using for make it cleaner for animator also. So that is a new feature has been adding inside Maya 2018. So the last thing I will just talking about is also how we can add an extra joint to our character, like the jaw or tails or whatever thing it is. Go back to the humanik, go ahead and not show the other things, and from here I'm going to add a jaw joint, which is very useful to make the jaw open and close. Here we go. And of course you can just make kind of free controller for it, and now we want just adding it to this, and very simple like before, select this and select this one and P for parent, and as you can see now, and also go to the movement tool. As I move now, I have an extra joint for the jaw, and you can also make it for the tails as well if you want to. The last thing I will just show you before I ending it is about if you have a character animation has been doing by the humanik before, and you want to import this animation to it, this is possible. You will find it inside the humanik options, and just make a new one just to show you this. Here it is kind of example by animation, and more example online if you want to go ahead and download it, and you can just importing it to this, and you can also put it into your rig. So if you just downloading, you will get a zip file. If you just press here, you will get this one. It needs to be downloaded. Now has been downloading, and that is 2 version for Windows and Mac, and I think example can be found here. So of course I have already this character rigged and all these kind of things, so we need just import, I don't know, this one. So as you can see, when I'm playing, I can see this character. So how I can put this to this one? Go to change to the examples, and now as you can see, my character trying to just have the same following. So that is a very good idea if you want to go ahead and create kind of basic animation like walking, jumping, or whatever thing it is, and you can just bring it or importing it. Or ever if you have a scene, all the character make the same thing, so that is a very nice things to do this. So that was all about the humanik, just basic stuff, and thanks for watching.